Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to be going through Activity 5-5, Managing File and Folder Permissions. This is from the MCTS Guide to Microsoft Windows 7. In my edition, this starts on page 232. And I will be doing this in a virtual machine. So to begin, we're going to go to our computer. This should be, if you're doing this, should be a virtual drive where you've already created your 3 additional drives. Sorry, a virtual computer where you've created your 3 additional drives. I covered that in my last video if you need to see that. If you are doing this on your physical machine, you will need to go to your partition manager, shrink down your primary partition a little bit, maybe 6 gigs or so, and then create 3 new partitions labeled as these are, made up of about 2 gigs each. You can actually do it with much smaller drives, but I just recommend 2 gigs or a gig each, just so you have a little bit of space there to work with some files. Alright, so on to the current activity, 5.5. We're going to go into the root of our H drive, where we have a few folders created here. And we're going to start by creating a new folder, and we're going to call it Marketing Documents. And we want to go to the Properties for our new folder. And we want to look at the Security tab. In here, we want to go to the Advanced Options and click on the Effective Permissions tab. Under the group or username, we have a text box. We want to hit the Select button next to that text box. And we want to type in the object name, or the username in this case. And I should have an account created. I did have an extra account. There we are. I called it my test account. So whatever your additional account is, and you may have to go create one for this, just create an extra account. I just called mine test, so that's what I'll be using. After you type in the name of the account, you can hit check names, and it'll pick it up automatically. It will be the computer name / the user account name. And so we'll hit OK once it's picked up the correct account. And that takes us through step 10, so we're moving on to step 11. On the Effective Permissions tab, which is where we're at, notice that the individual NTFS permissions have check marks next to them. So we're looking at all of these. And it's because we're the local administrator that we can give those rights to that account. I could have also done the same thing for the account I'm actually logged into. Except it's not finding it. There it is. So you do the same thing to my primary account, which gives it full control, as opposed to the test account, which when we used it, notice that it did not have full control, because it did not create it. It did not create this folder, so I'd have to go and take ownership in order to get full control. So looking back at the account I actually created this folder with, I can get that full control option. And we can look at the Owner tab, which shows the account that the folder was created with as the current owner. We can hit Permissions, and we can go to Change Permissions. And we want to remove this check mark next to the box that says Include inheritable permissions from this object's parent. In the Windows Security Warning box, we'll hit Remove. And then we will click the Add button to bring up our select users or group. And we'll enter our username in here again. Hit check names, verify that the name is accurate, and hit OK to continue. And in here, we can go and select specific permissions for users. So if I do this with my test account, I could give them specific permissions and deny others. Since this is the administrator account and the owner, I'm going to give full permissions. And it automatically applies to this folder, subfolder, and all files contained within. You can go and adjust that for specific things depending on your usage. So I'm going to hit OK to update that, and you will see that the only permission entry now is for my administrator account, and all the others have been removed. And we can see the inherited from section shows it's not inherited, it was assigned. And that takes us through step 21. Step 22, we're going to hit OK twice to close our dialog boxes and save those changes. Then we're going to hit OK to close the properties dialog box. And we'll see we have the lock on it now, which shows that we have a specific user with rights to that. So we'll go ahead and open it up. We're going to create a new text document called First Quarter Reports. And then we're going to right click on it, go to the Properties and the Security tab, and we'll see that the permissions from the folder are automatically inherited by this file. And looks like that covers everything for this activity. This was 5-5. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below, and I will see you in my next video.